This video is brought to you by Insta360.
All right, let's get into it here. Huge thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this hands-on comparison between the Insta360 X5 and the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I know a lot of you out there are looking for this comparison review, so here we go. These are two very different pocket cameras. One gives you control up front, and the other gives you freedom after the fact. So today I'll break down which one fits your style, and I'll show you real-world footage so you can decide for yourself. So let's talk about our contenders right here. The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is a 4K gimbal camera built for vlogging and everyday content. It's stable, simple, and works great in the moment. The Insta360 X5, it's an 8K 360-degree camera that unlocks every angle after you shoot. You film first, you frame later, and that opens up a whole different kind of creativity. Let's talk about shooting first and framing later. Here's the biggest difference. With the Osmo Pocket 3, if you don't get the framing right, it's gone. But with the X5, you can film an entire scene, then use Instaframe to pull out multiple angles later. It's like having a camera crew in your pocket. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have active track enabled on the Osmo Pocket 3. And then on the X5, I'm just gonna record, which is gonna be neat because I'm gonna be able to reframe later. But as I walk this way, you'll see that the gimbal is tracking me. But if I walk over here, the gimbal does track me. But what's crazy is there is a limit. So even if I walk all the way on this side, the gimbal loses me. But with the X5, I can still capture myself off screen because it does go full 360 degrees all the way around as many times as I want. Now this is Insta360's secret sauce, the invisible selfie stick. When it's fully extended, it disappears from the shot, so your footage looks like it's floating or filmed with a drone. Osmo Pocket 3, on the other hand, shows the stick. And does it still track me? If anything, it'll probably get the stick in there depending on the limits. So get a look at that. It's kind of bending upward. It's covering the pole that I have right here. And that is on this extended selfie stick with the Osmo Pocket 3. But now I have on the selfie stick the X5, and I can hold it like this. And you'll see from there's a stick that I'm holding, but if you look at the footage, I'm not holding a stick. Even if I was to go like this, how we had the Osmo Pocket 3, it pretty much blocked off my face. It didn't capture everything. So this is pretty neat how it captures everything all around, and it just has that invisible selfie stick effect. It almost looks like there's a drone above me, but you don't see that. Also, pro tip, just make sure to fully extend the selfie stick and include some third-person BTS angles too. It really sells the effect. Both these are pretty good at stabilization. Let's talk about horizon lock versus gimbal stabilization. The Osmo Pocket 3 has a 3-axis gimbal, but it maxes out at 45-degree roll. So if you flip it too much, it'll tilt. The X5 has full 360-degree horizon lock. Spin it, flip it, it stays level the whole time. All right, let's take a look at horizon lock or stabilization lock. Now what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna shake my arm like this. So you see how much I'm shaking, but how much does the footage shake? Because I think if I'm running, this is how it's gonna look. Maybe a little more stable because I think I'll try to be more careful, but you still got those jittery shakes with the selfie stick, but that's how it looks. And then let's try horizon lock. If I rotate and I keep going, you'll see that the Osmo Pocket 3, obviously it's not 360 rotation, so it does have a point where it cannot rotate anymore. But check out the difference between the X5 and the Osmo Pocket 3. The Osmo Pocket 3 gives you a 108-degree field of view or a little wider with an extra lens. And the X5 hits up to 170 degrees in max view, and if you're in 360 mode, your options are endless. I'm also gonna throw on the wide angle lens to get a little wider shot on the Osmo Pocket 3, like so. But here's the limits of your field of view. So let me walk over here. I'll walk off camera or on camera, depending on the footage that we're looking at. So I'm gonna go all the way over here, pretty much perpendicular to the camera that we're filming on. I guess I have that camera blocking it, but I'll go all the way over here, and then I'll walk into frame. If you've ever tried recording in the wind, you know how fast it can ruin your audio. The Osmo Pocket 3 holds its own indoors or in calm environments, but in wind-heavy situations, it can struggle. And the X5 comes with a built-in multi-layer wind guard, something you don't usually see in 360 cameras. And it does a solid job cutting out that wind noise. All right, so we've got both cameras on right now, and this is how the audio sounds on both microphones. I'm standing roughly about 10 feet away from the cameras, and so I'm gonna switch over now to, this is the audio of how the Osmo Pocket 3 sounds. You can hear that. I don't know how well you can hear that because I'm so far away. Let's switch over to the X5. This is the audio with the X5. I'm about 10 feet away. But now let's see, like, if I'm right up close to it, about right here, like if I'm holding it at arm's length right about here, that's how far my arm is to holding the cameras. This is how the audio sounds. This is how the Osmo Pocket 3 sounds. And the microphone that's built in is actually really good as it is on both of these. And you can hear the difference between the audio from the Osmo Pocket 3 and now switching over to the X5. This is how the audio sounds. And it is a pretty good microphone, but at the same time, we're gathering a lot of the noise of the stream right next to us, of the roads back there, and so on. As for external mics, it's a tie. The Osmo Pocket 3 supports the DJI Mic 2 system, which works great for wireless vlogging. The X5 pairs with the Insta360 Mic Air, also gives you clean audio and doubles as a remote trigger. All right, I've got both microphones on right now. I've got one on for the Insta360 Mic Air, and I've also got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3's mic, which is the Mic 2. And this is how the audio sounds. I can walk closer, I can walk further away, and the sound's gonna be the same because it's getting audio from my microphones. What I like about this is not only can I move further away, but I could also turn my back to the camera and you're still getting the audio of what I'm saying, how it sounds. And also you'll recognize that my voice is a little bit more punchier than it is with just the built-in microphones. Now the built-in microphone is great and all, but I like having this crispy clear audio for dialogue, just like we have in this one right here. So no matter which one you go with, you've got a solid mic option for clean wireless sound. Let's talk about some of the creative modes. This is where the X5 gets wild. It has bullet time for Matrix style slow-mo, 11K time lapse, 8K time shift, all from a single camera. Osmo Pocket 3's time warp looks good, but you're stuck in one angle. X5 lets you reframe, rotate, and get way more creative. And now we're shooting 8K 30, and I want to show you what I could do in post. In post, I could actually rotate this any way I want. I can flip it this way. I can flip it this way. I can also pan from there to here and to back down if I wanted to. And honestly, I did not move the camera at all. So it kind of just explains to you how you can reframe later. It's pretty intelligent and pretty cool. Insta360's app is packed with shot lab templates and AI tools like sky swap, street lapse, and reframing suggestions. Compared to DJI's app, it's just more advanced and regularly updated. Let's talk about durability and replaceable lens. This one's underrated. The Osmo Pocket 3 is fragile. Drop it, and the gimbal or lens is done. With the X5, built like an action camera, if you scratch the lens, you just pop it off and replace it. No tools, no repair shop. Let's talk about battery and endurance. The Osmo Pocket 3 runs about 2 hours on 1080p, but its battery is built in. X5 lasts longer, up to 185 minutes, and when you run out of battery, you can just swap out the batteries for a new one. Just toss a spare in your pocket and keep shooting. Osmo Pocket 3 is not waterproof. The X5 is IP68 rated and can go 49 feet deep without a case. Okay, we're gonna expand this out here. I'm gonna show you the waterproofness of this. Here we go. And then what we'll do is we'll just dump this into the water like so. It is immersed in the water, and I bring it back up, and now I'm out with it right here. Waterproof, performance is still working well. And I'll just keep this clip rolling so that you can see that, you know, it works just fine. Waterproof, you gotta love it. I want to give you some quick X5 setup tips to get the best image. So first, set your bitrate to high and sharpness to low. Second, use 8K 30 FPS video mode for daylight, and for low light, use pure video mode at 8K 30 frames per second. Keep the lens clean, no guards if you want the sharpest results. and export in 4K ProRes for long form video or 4K 100 megabits per second for reels and shorts. So final thoughts, the Osmo Pocket 3 is clean, compact, and perfect if you want to vlog on the go. The X5 is a creative powerhouse. If you want the freedom to shoot once and unlock 100 perspectives later, it's the better tool. Both of these cameras are incredible, but they're for different creators. If you want cinematic footage right out of the camera with no fuss, Osmo Pocket 3 nails it. If you want flexibility, AI editing, and immersive third-person shots, X5 is in a league of its own. If you want to learn more about these products, links are in the description, and if you're quick, you can grab a deal on the X5 or get a bonus accessory. Thanks again to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. Hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe if this helped, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.